you texted me with an invitation to go see an exhibition at Brooklyn Museum. Yeah, it was 100 views of Edo.
Yeah, famous views?
100 famous views of Edo by
Hiroshige, yeah.
Yeah, and when I received...
Was that a microaggression to invite a Korean person to see a Japanese artist from the 19th century? Because that was the time, right, when Japan was fucking going...
When they were going ham on Korea.
Buck wild.
Yeah, it wasn't a great time in Korea.
Yeah, just turning everyone into their sex slaves.
They made some great art, and that's the power of art, isn't it?
Yeah, it allows you to brush stroke away your crimes against humanity.
And that is a testament to how beautiful and how great the art was.
It was really, I had never seen this collection, which I think is owned by the Brooklyn Museum, right?
Which is famously, you made clear, one of your least favorite museums in New York City.
Yeah, I have some issues with some of the recent curation choices at the Brooklyn Museum.
You weren't a fan of Problematic?
I would not say
Hannah Gadsby.
I would not
say the comedian who did the special Nanette.
Yeah. That would be like if like an art curator headlined Madison Square Garden. Would you think that would be annoying to comedians?
I think
like,
that's giving Hannah Gadsby too much credit.
Yeah,
art curator? I mean, let's be honest. She could.
I think they. And this is a fucking inclusive podcast, Brian. We will shit on their curated show, but we will not misgender.
My apologies.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to leave that in. I'm not going to edit that out because I want to take accountability.
Accountability is is honestly the most important thing of this podcast.
Yeah.
The last show you saw there was a show about sneakers. Yeah. This is not a serious institution. I'm just like, they had a show called Problematic. Just even saying
the fact
problematic,
that the title has a pun.
It gets stuck in my throat and I begin to vomit just even thinking about it. If it's Twitter had a museum, they're like just rip. You know how Law and Order, like in the last 10 years, they just like rip from the headlines.
Yeah.
Like they have like one where like a comedian like gets me too'd and they make like rape jokes, but then it turns out they're actually a rapist. Yeah. You know, there's always just like, that's what the Brooklyn Museum is. They're just like ripping from the headline and just trying to do the most like Tumblr-fied, you know.
Yes. Next year we're probably going to get like a cool glasses and headgear exhibit across athletics.
Yes. They'll always be a few years too late.
Yeah. The last exhibit I saw there was a sneaker exhibit.
Yeah.
That was, for sneakerheads.
In the Brooklyn Museum. Yeah. It is, I mean, one level above Museum of Ice Cream. When you walk in, there's just a giant wooden Cause statue, which is a provocation. You're like, oh, you thought you came here for art? You thought you came here to see art? No. This is for children.
But you're a coward, Dan. You're complaining about this on a podcast when it's a pay as you want model, and you paid the suggested $20 retail price.
That same at the Met when they like look you. I sneak into the Met because I can't. I don't want to confront the cashier when they're like, it's $20, but it's pay what you will, and then they're waiting. They look at you and they look at your nose and you're like, Jew. What are you going to do, Jew?
No, but a pre-Montana me would have paid.
You would have paid
the full $20.
Now you don't give a fuck.
Post-Montana, don't fucking tell me how much I should pay
10
in this fucking goddamn country.
Yeah.
So I paid 10.
I paid 20 because they finally had a show I wanted to see. They were showing art.
Yeah.
And that I wanted to indicate that I will reward their their momentary lapse in judgment at actually showing real art. Maybe in the future they won't show Taylor Swift memes and call it an exhibit.
But for our listeners who podcast is it is not a visual medium.
No.
So
look it up.
I don't think the exhibit is still happening.
Do you want to describe what the series is?
Yeah, it's a beautiful paintings on, what was it, wood prints?
They're woodblock prints.
Woodblock prints.
Yeah,
yes.
it was a series.
Yeah,
that was very successful at the time.
Extremely popular.
Yeah, I think it toured. I think they had to like run multiple editions because it was so popular. And I guess
beautiful flat images of Edo and whatever you are thinking of Japanese aesthetics and like iconography, it's in there.
Yeah. I would say. Well, it's interesting. Edo became Tokyo.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Like Istanbul was once Constantinople.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because now, obviously, we think about Tokyo, and your mental image of it is like the most high tech, the most futuristic, clean, efficient subway systems. Yeah. And these were all just like gorgeous nature views. Mostly, people were
amazing. A lot of images of people picnicking under cherry blossoms.
Yeah. Well, the people were always very small. It was like, I feel like the landscape was the foreground. These were really trying to like situate you in the different seasons, in the different views of Mount Fuji in the background,
right,
in kind of the daily life. And I guess these were meant to. These are almost like a 19th century travelogue. Where they were
I was going to say that this is the OG. This is the precursor to Instagram travel content.
Yeah, that's what he was going for. If he was alive today, Hiroshige would be
a digital, like a nomad.
Yeah, he'd put like a little photo of his cappuccino in the morning.
His Instagram bio would have like Bali, Lisbon.
Yeah, a plane emoji.
Just the worst Instagram.
This is the worst.
Inexplicably has 30,000 followers.
Glad he was born in the 19th century, and he made these extremely elegant woodblock prints. Just really bold colors too.
Yes.
And they were preserved too, very well preserved. Where like the vibrancy of the reds and these like really almost like ink blue skies that would kind of fade down, or like the rivers would have these very, very luscious kind of ink stained.
Dan's in the zone right now.
No, they were beautiful.
That was honestly the happiest I've ever seen Dan. Is like as soon as he stepped foot into a museum, he's just like a fucking Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. It's like
I'm museumed out. Yeah, I think I do. I think I look really good. Like, I look good, but I do the act of looking.
Before this experience, I would sort of stand too far from the plaque, but you actually like great posture. You're up close.
Yeah. No, listen,
you're going hard in the paint there.
A tutorial online about how to look.
No, but this Hiroshige, he influenced a lot of very famous painters.
Yeah,
Van Gogh being one of them.
People today, like. Cool kids or yuppies, they go to Japan, they become obsessed with it. This was happening in the 19th century too. Like we just had centuries of dudes just being super into Japanese culture and thinking the Japanese have it figured out. They understand, they commune with nature, just a different way.
It's one of the most powerful forces throughout history is like being like a white man's like affinity for Japanese culture.
Yeah. Like, but they have so many Kit Kat flavors. You don't get it. Dude, Van Gogh would have loved the mochi Kit Kat. He would have been like, they just relate to nature. Their understanding of harmony and oneness is just different. Do you think this is going to
go on forever? Maybe like 2,000 years from now, are they going to look
like
back
three
at
Japanese
this time, though?
people left too because they're
But are they going to are white people going to fetishize what's going on currently in Japan? Just like, 2024, they had it right. The way how they live the herbivore lifestyle, how the men just were celibate and like fighting climate change and dire time like that.
Just the way they take photographs of women's underwear in the subway. They just don't. Oh my God, we just don't do that in the subway here. I'm sorry for the harmful Japanese stereotype.
I mean, but yeah, I think they are aware. Their phones do make a loud sound.
Yeah, I wonder how they feel about being fetishized.
Yeah.
Do you think people called Van Gogh out? They're like, listen, I like your influence, but this is really appropriating a culture that is not yours. And he's like, I'm fucking insane. You know that? I'm off my rocker. I cut my ear off. Let me do some appropriating. I don't know who I'm imagining here. These 19th century woke scolds.
I feel like as an artist, like so much of your success is dependent on the personal brand that you establish for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think one of the smartest things that you can do is kind of co-opt and brand yourself as being clinically insane.
Yeah.
Because then you just become...
You think you get away with everything?
You get away with everything. And
Kanye.
You're bulletproof to being canceling.
I still listen to Kanye. He said Hitler was good. And I'm like, uh-huh. But the beats are good.
Is fucking
the
good.
beats are fire. And it's fine. He's crazy. He's insane. So it's we can appreciate it.
Like, Leo DiCaprio keeps getting away with it. Tobey
Is he
Maguire.
insane?
He's not insane,
I don't
but
think those guys are.
mean...
Tobey Maguire's dating really like a woman half his age, right?
Yeah, he's dating like a 19-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it dating or is it just sort of a high-class escort situation?
She hasn't even... She still thinks Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man. She doesn't even know.
That is so funny to me. Do you think is Toby just like...
He was in...
She probably didn't even see his movies.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think she's watching the Cider House Rules? You don't think she's really into that?
She doesn't know the iconic rain falling, Kirsten Dunst upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's always like... He like kisses her upside down. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
He's like, that's my movie. So, I hope
we forgot to mention this, but we brought up how white people have this affinity for Japan.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways. Like, Japanese people love Americana.
Yeah. But it's not seen as like creepy like it is here.
I mean, they did a fucking number to our vintage stores.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know how hard it is to find a good pair of fucking vintage Levi's?
They came,
right?
They would come with planes and suitcases.
they fucking
no one talks
us.
about this. Yeah. But I want to have her on and talk to them.
They're defended. It's okay.
Because they did it way
absolved because in return they improve on the things that they've stolen from us.
And then we take it back and we're like, it was always this good. It was always this swagged out.
And curiously, it doesn't seem to work the other way around. We steal from the Japanese, but I don't think we've made it better.
Yeah, I don't. Sugarfish. You don't think Sugarfish has improved?
It's a beautiful thing.
Even Trid.
Yeah, hi. Is this Middlebrow?